Welcome, Reds from around the world. We have most certainly had worse days. 9-0. What less is there to say? Let's just call it at that. I was so annoyed for my OCD that's in me. On the pre-match show, for the million people that are watching now that watch it then, I predicted it'd be 8-0. I was so smug. Temmie's in the WhatsApp group. I put it in. I was like, Ben, you can clip that. You can put it. I thought it'd be an internet sensation. And then Dan James, in the last second, and to ruin my prediction. I was sure I was the next, what's his name? Quasimodo. No, the other one. Nostradamus. I was sure. We've the name scrolling across the bottom for who.
That is hilarious.
We're going to try and break down every goal if you can remember them. And we see there's a ton of people watching right now. Go over to YouTube, like the video, okay? We are doing, we have a deal with Football Town that we're working at the moment. Once we get to 20 likes, once we get to 30 likes on this video, I'll be asking a question. The first 9 people to answer that question correctly will be in with a chance to win some Football Town material. That's all you have to do. Get us to 30 likes on this video. After we get to 30 likes, I'll be asking a question. Whoever the first 9 people to answer that question correctly will be put in for a draw to win Football Town material. Like, what more do you want? What more do you want? There's so many people watching now. Get over to YouTube, like the video. You can be a chance to win the best things possible. And joining better late than ever, Buddy Holly, everybody. We don't even care. We're 9. We are 9. Loads of comments coming in. Please, guys, get your comments in. First one's from Ben, all for United. We won 9-0. 9! Bonkers. With the negativity, Eamon, Penny Greenwood didn't score. Yeah, everyone else did though. Fred, what the hell just happened? We're going to cover that because I'm as confused as anyone. Max, Ollie's at the wheel. You're dead right. Well, damn right. That was all right, wasn't it? It was more than all right. It was absolutely spot the hell on. Is this going to be a new thing with you now, Mark? Is it? Are my comments working out? Yes, they are. We're going to go straight talking to the guys now, to the wonderful people around me, the wonderful Tammy, the wonderful James, the wonderful Hannah. But like I said one last time, help us get to 30 likes on this video. Once we get to 30 likes, I'll be asking a question. The first 9 people in the comments to answer that question correctly will be put in for a draw to win Football Town merchandise that is out of this world, and you will really appreciate it. So we're going to go to my boy Tammy on this side. You must be very, very happy. We thought it'd be a tight game. We're coming out with the goal difference is phenomenal. How happy are you feeling right now?
I feel really good. It's nice to be in a game where you can kind of relax and not be stressed the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like get down 1-0 and just be worried for a majority of the game. It was nice. It was a good feeling. There's things you can take away from it. Confidence. My guy Ben told me that on Twitter today. I personally don't like when there's red cards in games. I hate it because it kind of just takes away the spirit, a slight amount of spirit of the game away. But that being said, it's going to give a lot of those guys confidence. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, absolutely wonderful today. Absolutely amazing. He has 2 goals now this season, more than any other right back. I think Luke Shaw, again, absolutely wonderful. People, complain about our fullbacks and their attacking prowess, but if you look statistically, they're right up there with the top for, attacking fullbacks. So got to give them credit. And we have to use this confidence and get on a run because, City, I think we're on 44 points with them, but they have 2 games in hand now. We can't afford to be dropping points. So this was a huge, mental boost for the squad.
Oh, Jesus, absolutely. Ashley, hard to judge anything on this game because it was over from minute 1. That is not true. It was so good to see United come out and throw because I was watching the Arsenal game, and the majority of that second half, Wolves had two-man advantage. And yet Arsenal could have nicked it at a couple of times. So
yeah, but yeah,
I get it though. But one man down within a minute, okay, does not automatically equal a 9-0 victory.
No, that's true. That's true.
If you look at who was it? If you look at the first game that comes to mind, this is a couple of years ago, but still the same thing. Burnley came to Old Trafford. Herrera got sent off middle of the game. Burnley were still fighting to even be in the league, and then they got a 0-0 draw from it. So just because you have a player advantage doesn't always mean, and Southampton are a very well-drilled team. So I think the most important thing is getting goals and making the most of that advantage. And guys, like I said before, wherever you're watching, come to YouTube, like the video, help us get the 30 likes on this video. If we get the 30 likes, I'll be asking a question. The first 9 people who answer it correctly in the comments will be put into an opportunity to win some absolutely outstanding Football Town merchandise. So do that and be sound. Hammer, we're coming to you next, buddy. How are you feeling?
Hey, man, I'm feeling pretty good. I think I told you guys in the backstage that I needed this type of game today, not just from football. I had some rough shit going on the last couple of days. So I'm feeling good. I'm happy with the win. And like we've been saying, it's a confidence thing, right? Tony got 2, and I think that's going to help him a lot. And, people who might have been struggling and not up to par where we expect them and where they probably expect themselves, they were able to get some goals and hopefully build some confidence going into a good game against Everton.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And there's a comment here I was going to ask. Was for a minute. No, I'll come back to it later on. We can find it. James, you finished just doing your little school work, crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and finding out who the dish went away with. James, I believe the dish ran away with the spoon, but I can't be. Can you confirm that now live?
I don't know, do I? I don't know what you expect me to say to that.
You can talk about football if you like.
Well, yeah, I've just been writing a match report for it. That's why I was late. And what the fuck do you even say about that? Just describing goals. It's very nice to win 9-0, but you just get to a point where you feel sorry for Southampton, don't you? Their players clearly just weren't. It was just sorry to see the fact that they've got so many young players that they could have played and given an opportunity to, and you've got senior players that just don't care. They just stopped trying. So in that sense, it was a bit disappointing. But it's a 9-0 win. You can't complain, can you? Record equaling, I think. So yeah, it was nice for Martial to get a couple of goals. Like he said, I would have liked Greenwood to get one at least. But the only negative really is that Bednarek got -7 for my fantasy team. So other than that, we're pretty happy.
Yeah. Speaking of fantasy, I was just checking out there. I have McCarthy in goals. I was terrified to look, but I think he made enough saves because he just got me 0 points. Bruno got man of the match according to Fantasy Football because he does all the time anyway. And so I got 28 points off him. And Cavani only got me 5 because he's taken off in the first half. But still, can't really complain. But Stuart is showing off here. Just saw that 43 points for his from one game. Yes, Stuart, whatever. But we look at it as well. We're going to be touching on. There is a couple of negatives that we are going to touch on in a little bit of time. But on the overall play, especially with 1-0 down, is that it's hard to really say is that what you're looking for because we scored 9 goals. But we were playing against a team. Now this is something we've always struggled with. Always. This is why I'm taking a bit more positives from it. Teams that defend 10 men behind the ball who aren't interested in attack. That's a standard team that we lose to or we don't play well against. So for the fact that we put 9 goals by them and they were missing 1 player for the majority of the game, we were 6-0 up, 7-0 up at that point anyway, weren't we? Am I right? I'm trying to lose my maths here. Kind of shows that is progression and there is lots to take from the game. Tell me, would you follow that mindset? Because I know you put up a tweet earlier on being like, what can we take from this game? But is the fact that we, against a team that was all defensive, that we managed to get as many goals as we did?
Yes and no. It's kind of a mixed bag for me. It really is. I think that red card so early, they were already in the mental state where they felt like their backs were against the wall. They have so many injuries currently. They're playing, literally they're playing championship level players. You know what I'm saying? So they were already kind of mentally dejected. And then the red card kind of, just compiled it. And I think their heads dropped as soon as that red card happened. And I think the level that they would have played at dropped significantly. So it's just hard for me to completely, I'm not trying to be negative here. Please understand that I try to give context to everything, but it's hard for me to completely give the boys, so much credit for, breaking this team down this way when it's just obvious that that team was mentally dejected. If we look at last year too, the 9-0 against Leicester, that Southampton lost 9-0 against Leicester, their heads dropped. And, it's obvious this team can do that at times, not to mention that 10 men are on the pitch. So I am happy that the boys got goals, that they got confidence in them, you know what I'm saying? But I am not going to sit here and say, yes, we know how to break a team down with a low block in this game. I'm not going to go that far. We still have I still need to see it when there's 11 men on the pitch and a healthier squad.
Oh, yeah, that's fair enough. Hey, look, Captain Pessimism over here. All right, I still think we're guaranteed. No, you're being muted now, Temi. No one's talking to Temi anymore. He's being too real. Okay. When we come back to you, Temi, all I want is we're definitely win the Premier League, and I don't know, Bruno Fernandes is going to score 8 goals per game, 9-0 every single game is what's going to happen. Hannah, we're going to come to you now. Sorry, I just wanted to check something there. Got a message. Guys, I'm going to remind you again, we have a lot of people. Get in the comments, get your thoughts in, ask us questions, what we think about the game as well. And also, don't forget, once we get, I think we're 8 likes off, according to what Ben's saying here. We're 8 likes off. Once we get to 30 likes on this video, I'll be asking a question. The first 9 people to answer the question correctly in the comments will be put into a draw to win some absolutely outstanding Football Town merchandise, and the stuff is unreal, so we want to do it. Hannah, coming to you. We're going to start touching a little bit on the negatives. Where do you think we could still improve on it? Was there any players that you felt weren't reaching their full potential in a 9-0 win? What do you think?
Well, I will say that earlier on, right before, and it ended up biting me in the ass, where it was right before Wan-Bissaka scored, he just seemed to me like he was being hesitant to put balls in. Like he was rather going and passing it back to Fred or Mason or whoever was next to him on the left side instead of trying to whip a ball. And like there was an early one that got played out to him where he should have just taken it one touch right across the face of the goal. And I think Fred and Cavani, I don't know if it was Fred, but Cavani and somebody else was right off the 6-yard box. And he took a touch and then played it back to whoever was next to him. So I was getting worried about that earlier on. But I mean, again, with the game that it was, everybody eventually just started, actually playing hard and doing some good things and trying to take advantage of the situation, which we did. But if there was somebody I was going to say, would have been Wan-Bissaka earlier on. But then, then he started doing what he does and making slide tackles and all that shit. And that's what I love.
Yes, that's what you want to see. James, we'll touch on you for any negativity to finish that out, and then we'll just have a low fest for the remaining of this. If that's okay, Temi, of course.
Please, by all means. Yeah.
James, what do you feel the 9-0 isn't representing?
I don't want to sound pessimistic, but I don't think it's representing that much. It's a complete freak of a game, isn't it? We scored 17 goals in all competitions in the Premier League, at Old Trafford before this game, and we scored 9 today. So it's not. I do think it's a bit of a one-off. I hope we can build on it. But you wanted a bit of a negative side to it. So I suppose there's that. It would just be how we build from this. I don't want the players to get too ahead of themselves. It's a good win, probably the best win we'll get in a long time. But it's nothing to say. This is the level we're at, because it's not. It was a complete freak of a game. I think that if we'd have played that way with Southampton having 11 men on the pitch, we'd have still probably won the game because we were incredible. But I think just keep your heads at the minute. I think that's the way to go.
Absolutely. And now the negativity's out of the way. And guys, keep those comments coming in, keep the likes coming in. Subscribe to the channel. I don't know why Fred's pour is still there, because I should have got rid of that ages ago. We'll go to the Fred's question before we go. We'll go touch on that. We'll go around the round table, guys. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video around. We will not often in our lifetimes see a 9-0 victory over United. So share this video around, and we'll all get as much fun out of it as possible. And once we get to 30 likes, I will be shortly afterwards. I'll be asking a question, and the first 9 people answer that question correctly will be put into a draw for Football Town material. Woo! So Temi, going to you. How do you feel Donny did when he was brought onto the pitch? And we'll talk about who came on. We got Martial obviously came on, Donny came on, and James came on. So we'll talk about each of them, but we'll start with Donny.
Yeah, I think Donny did fine. Again, I literally still said, I'll still keep saying I don't think he's had a bad game. in a United jersey yet. I think again, the same issue I mentioned before is he needs to, put his personality into the game. I think the difference between a person like him, a person like Bruno is, you're gonna know Bruno's on the pitch whether he's playing amazingly well or amazingly bad.
Oh no, Temmie's about to sneeze, everyone. We'll come back to Temmie in a few minutes when he does get the sneeze out. You froze. You froze quite comically. You're kind of chopping up a bit. I'm going to kick you and come back in, okay? Oh man, we'll go to. I'll get her stood out in a minute. Ham, I'll go to you now. What are your thoughts on the substitutions and how they did when they were brought on?
Yeah, I mean, I think Donnie did okay. I think he started a little slow, but then he eventually started getting into the game. And I want to obviously remain positive. So what I want to say with Donnie is I think we're going to obviously eventually see the best in Donnie, but I think when we're going to see him is probably when, and I know we probably don't want to be thinking about this already, but when things like the Europa League starts back up, I think that's where he's going to get a lot of game time. And I think those type of games are going to be types of games that are going to play to his strength. So I think eventually we're going to see the best that we do want to see, right? The Ajax version of Donnie. But it's going to be a game time thing. And even if it's against Europa League competition, it's still going to be game time just to get him reps and get him flowing. And then when he gets to play in these games, he'll have a better connection with the regular team. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. James, what do you now? And guys, don't forget, wherever you're watching, and Temmie's back. He had a sneeze and he's back. And Jacob and Brown Knight, stop having it off in the chat. Be mates. We won 9-0. Come on, get over yourselves. We've a lot of people watching. Please get over. Please like the channel. Please subscribe. Please share this around. We're sharing the love because we have won 9-0 and we want to keep the likes coming in. We want to keep the viewership up. We want to enjoy this for as long as we possibly can. James, come to you now before we break down every single goal. Donny James, as we're going to call him from now. And who was the last one? Who was the last one that came on? Martial. Sorry, of course. Sorry, Temmie. Sorry. How do you think the subs fared? But kind of more touching on Donny because Martial obviously got 2, so it's hard to say anything against him.
Yeah, like you said, Martial and James both scored, so you can't really have too much of an issue with that. I think Martial actually his all-round game was good. He was pressing from the front, which we've not seen in a while. He looked dangerous on the ball, so you can't have any complaints. Dan James didn't look as championship standard as he usually does, so I'm not too bothered about that either. But yeah, Donny was sort of a victim of the game plan. Really, we were very good at getting the ball out wide and putting crosses in, and he was in a very compact midfield where he didn't really have much opportunity to do anything. I mean, there's a few nice little bits of interplay here and there, but I think it was just, he was just sort of crowded out the game. But anyone on that pitch after winning 9-0 is going to get a bit of confidence, so hopefully he's the same.
I wouldn't have highlighted this comment that came in, but Jacob has just absolutely owned them. I don't understand all these Manc accents. And we'll follow that with Jacob being the absolute legend. Lol, and Manx can't understand Sir Alex Ferguson. Yep, that about puts that arsehole to shame. So guys, it'll be difficult to break down every single goal. So we'll just start off with, can you remember which one was your favorite? Can you remember? Because this is a tough one. I'm doing this thing that was on the scoring thing. It took me ages to remember who scored.
I think the best goal was definitely Martial's first. If we're just talking about the difficulty level, the aesthetics of it, he had to pick the ball up out from the air. He had to control it with his chest, bring it down, and then he rifled it into the roof of the net. So that was definitely the best goal. My favorite goal, I was so happy that AWB scored. Like, I feel like, I'm so sorry, he gets some of the most undue criticism I have ever seen. Like, I know Martial gets, criticized, and I try to defend him, but I think the AWB criticism, people act like, there's 3 better right backs than him in the league, and it's just not the case. You know what I mean? So I was really, really glad to see him on the score sheet. And again, he had outside of his goals, he was just wonderful going forward. So got to give him his props.
Oh, absolutely. On Wan-Bissaka, thanks for saying his name. Actually, I completely forgot he scored the first goal. And then also his all-round play, like his tackle. I think it was on Danny Ings. But like how he did that, on his right leg. Do you know, when the natural thing for anyone is to go in with your left, because that's the way you're running and the way that the side he's on. For the fact that he can go in his right, in the penalty area, when he was somewhat clear through goal. So if that's misplaced tackle, that's a send it off. And then we were worried that he might have been injured afterwards as well. And he's just an absolute legend. And guys, like I said, I'm going to keep saying this. Keep the likes, keep the follows coming in, keep watching. Shortly, very, very soon, I'll be asking a question. The first 9 people answered correctly, we'll put into a draw to win Football Town merchandise. So please keep them coming in. I'll leave this up for a second. But Hannah, coming to you next. What was your favorite goal?
Well, I just wanted to say real quick on the Wan-Bissaka thing, man. When I did play football, I was a center back, and I love tackles, man. So I love seeing Wan-Bissaka do all that shit. And then in terms of my favorite goal, I think Temmie's right. Tony's was like the nicest one to see, but I don't want to say the same one. So I'm gonna say Scott. I like, and the fact that he didn't take a touch, he just came up and hit it. I like those outside of the shot goals, and just the way Scott plays, I always forget that he has that in him. So when he hits one, I'm like, oh shit, okay. I forget that he has that little outside of the box shot in him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I actually love McTominay's goal. He does tend to not score crap goals at all. They tend to be they tend to be.
They're all screamers.
Do you know what I remember? And this isn't the best comparison to make for any United player, but I remember when we had sold whoever we sold Darren Gibson to. Everton. That's who it was. Okay, Darren Gibson, lovely guy, Irish guy, so I love him. Alcoholic, has his issues. Never mind. Okay, but I remember when he was being sold, and people are like, "Oh, he just didn't do this, he didn't do that," and they were showing his highlight reel, and every single one of his goals was
screamers,
like world class, and don't forget he scored in the Champions League semi-final for us as well. So yeah, anyone in the comments want to give a bit of love to Darren Gibson, I'd be very much appreciated as well. Like he had his issues, but great, at times. But James, coming to you, what was your favorite goal? And don't say one that's already been taken, or else I'll beat you.
I liked the own goal because it was just funny to watch, and he looked like he was going to cry after it. So yeah, that'd be my answer.
Oh my God, James, are you the eldest in your family, or do you? Have you got older siblings?
No, I'm the oldest.
It tells because you're an absolute sociopath. It's like I love to see the misery in his eyes. And I know because I'm the oldest lad. I've got 2 younger brothers. I'm the exact same. I'm just like boom. When they fall and they cry, you just not like it. What's that, Hammer?
I just said I'm the youngest. Damn.
So that's we had a lot of fun with you. Or we would have anyway. I suppose we'll kind of touch on Fred over just because he's Irish. Okay, sorry, Fred. All right. We'll touch on the 11. Well, the 14 that played today. Well, because Temmie used to be part of. We used to do football ratings, but I suppose we can put it into now. If we're going to give David De Gea, is there anything we can give him that is maybe
6? Or 7. You know what? I'm gonna give him a 7 because of the save for Ward-Prowse. The free kick save from Ward-Prowse. He gets a 7 because of that.
Yeah. Is that a fair result across the board? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Good reaction.
Hey. Yeah. Absolutely. And then we and guys, get your thoughts in the comments as well. Get your what you think the ratings for each player should be, and very shortly, please make sure to like. I'll be asking a question very, very soon to. And the first 9 people to answer correctly, we put into a draw for the Football Town merchandise. What's this? Congratulations to all the Man United family. 9-0 is astronomical result. Let's enjoy maybe 10 years to the next time. Maybe never to the next time. Stewards, I think that might be because a certain Gibson didn't play for a certain Stewart's country and decided to play for a certain Joe's country. Might be why a certain Stewart doesn't like him that much. Makes sense. Gavin, Gibbo, decent quad player to have in the team. Absolutely. Like McTominay. But we'll keep going. Luke Shaw, 2 assists. What's the rating there?
8. What? 8, 9, 8.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. I think it's like across the back line, it just has to be maybe 8, doesn't it?
Oh no, the center backs. If we want to call those two goals that got disallowed. There was or there was a couple actually. There was Shea Adams missed a sitter that he shouldn't have missed.
Yeah.
That was awful defending, absolutely shit defending. And then there was a goal that was disallowed. That was so tight. I think Shea Adams scored that time, and they called it back, and I thought it was unfair, but hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So yeah,
by the way, sorry, everyone.
Go ahead. I was gonna say they get 6s just because of that. I'm
That's
boom.
Fair. That's fair. There's a lot of love for Darren Gibson at the moment. Gibson's best moment for United is when he was sold to Everton and he scored the winner versus City shortly after. I remember that. That was
Joe. They've all fallen into your trap of talking about all the Irish players.
Yeah, I'll get them all out. Let's move on to John O'Shea. Let's actually talk about John O'Shea. Put your favorite John O'Shea moment in. That goal. That goal should have stood, absolutely. And actually, we'll touch on as well the 2 sending-offs. I think we are all in agreement with the first sending-off. I actually felt bad for the guy, 20 years old, and first real game, especially at Old Trafford. There was no intent. It was just rash because I think
adrenaline got to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Worked in our favor.
Yeah, now got it like rush of the head or whatever he called it. He just got.
James, I'm going to go to you first in this one. For the second sending off, basically, look, the game is well over that point. We got a nice penalty, but not that. But do you feel that should have been a penalty?
I think.
Oh, sorry, red card.
Yeah, I think it'd be harsh to not give a penalty, but I think just because of the rules and the fact that we had an identical incident in the Arsenal game, which resulted in a red card, I think the ref didn't really have a choice but to send him off if he's gonna give the penalty. So I don't think, given the context of what's happened today, I don't think they can be too disheartened. And realistically, if they're crying about it, it was already 7-0. It's not going to have made a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Hammer for yourself?
Along the same thing. I mean, it was definitely a penalty. I think the way it was just they got caught up, and you could tell he was trying to avoid it, but he did clip him. And I didn't know about the Arsenal thing during the game, so if that's why he got sent off, then okay. But yeah, I think it was a little harsh for a red card.
Yeah, a little bit. Sorry, Tammy, for yourself?
If like James said, if you're gonna give the foul, you have to give the red card under the letter of the law. Definitely a denial of a goal scoring opportunity. If he doesn't nick Martial, he's clearing on goal. So it's not a red card foul like the first one, if that makes sense. But it is a red card because of the letter of the law. You feel me? So it's again Bednarek own goal and then sent off. I mean, that is good. That is easily going to be his worst game in his career. So
and we're actually touching on another player's best career. We United, and that's of course the Irishman John O'Shea, who's getting a lot of love in the comments as well. So O'Shea versus Liverpool, O'Shea Ting versus Arsenal, absolutely. O'Shea versus Arsenal, or his goal versus Spurs. I remember that. Or when he was in goal versus Spurs, that was amazing. What was it? O'Shea's chipper, of course, but there's no other moment that is. The Figo nutmeg, which is superb. Thanks for shouting that out, Stuart. And O'Shea getting skinned by Ronaldo when he was at Sporting. I'm signing for us. I love these kind of like backward ways that are getting credited for stuff.
That is too funny.
John O'Shea is fine on the thumbs up. Brown Knight put in Hasselhouden visibly broken in the post-match interview on BT. Emotional guy. Yeah, he was the same against Liverpool. In fair play, I have to say I'm a big fan of Hasselhouden. So I'd rather if we did this to someone else, but I'll take the 9-0 against him anyway. Ben Bergerson saying Martial told him that it wasn't a penalty. Whatever, that's fine. Look, if
it's okay.
Whatever. So guys, we have a great number of people commenting and watching. Please, like I've been saying it all day, I'll be asking a question very shortly. The first 9 people to answer it correctly will be put into a draw for some Football Town material related to Manchester United. And I don't know what I'd like to run now, but keep liking and share the video. We want as many eyes on this as possible. Whatever Connor's trying to say here, come Manchester United. I don't know if that's a tourism board and he works for the Manchester Tourism Board saying come to Manchester United as people, or he's just missing an on there. With this, VAR made no difference. We were 4-0 up after Stonewall. Red, yep. Penalty or not, red or not, we smashed them. Absolutely, Greg, you're dead right. And in fairness, I felt we should have. Oh, sorry, I meant to put this up later on. Captain Tom, RIP, absolutely. Jacob, could I miss a Tom? Yes, I meant to put that on just after I was in the middle of rant there. But yeah, unfortunately, Captain Tom Moore passed away today, age 100, absolute legend, raised so much money for charity, and is a hero to us all. I'll be sadly missed. Subscribe to stick with us to get our competition draw. It's happening within the next 10 minutes, so stay with us and don't miss out. That's Ben, just send me the script. So we're going to keep touching on the rest of the players' performances. We got our midfield tree. We're going to start with McTominay. Tell me, I'll go to you first. How do you think he got on?
I'll give him an 8. A very good game. Scored a great goal. I think he was really strong today in the tackle. His passing was good. It's really hard to evaluate. Obviously, with 10 men, people are going to get really high scores. They can do things a lot easier, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to give him an 8 today. Real solid game. Yeah,
Hammer for yourself.
I think I'll agree with the number, and it goes with again, even though it is against 9, those are the type of games when people are talking about like that's the best that you're going to get on McTominay, right? He made his passes, made his tackles, and he picked up a goal. So you can't really
absolutely. James, for yourself.
Yeah, can't disagree with it. Just a similar performance to the Leeds game, wasn't it? He thrives when the game's open, and a quality goal to show for it.
Yeah, worked in our favour completely. And the next player, I think, might bring up the most controversy because I don't think he was the best player on the pitch by any stretch of the imagination. Mr. Fred, Temi, what are you thinking there, rating wise?
Yeah, I'll give him a 6 today. Above average, decent. Definitely misplaced a few passes. I think that he needs to stop shooting. Honestly,
oh my god,
he just he is literally he has so many good things for Manchester United, but one thing he is not is a goal scorer. Every time I see him shoot, I saw him shoot 2 shots with his weaker foot, trying to curl it into the top corner. I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So somebody just got to tell him in Carrington, like, hey, bro, we love you. He stepped up next to Bruno for the free kick. I'm like, what is happening? Like, what is happening in training that Fred gets that responsibility to be next to Bruno for a free kick?
Yeah.
I can't wrap my mind around it, but 6, yes.
That's fair. And I'm going to give Stuart a bit of a present here. We had a love in for Darren Gibson and Johnny O'Shea, 2 of the greatest players to ever play in the Premier League. But I'm going to give the Northern Irish a little bit of a shout out. I want anyone to put in the comments their favorite Paddy McNair moment. This is all for you, Stuart. This is because you're here every episode, every week, and you listen to my podcast as well. So Paddy McNair, I have one memory for sure. But if anyone wants to give love for Paddy McNair, throw it in the comments and let me know.
Those are dark days.
Yeah, I'm wondering as well why you laughing?
Admiring the comment section.
Yeah, it's very good. And Stuart, thanks very much. Yeah. But Hammond, for yourself on Fred?
I'll give him a 5 or 6 or something like that too. I think those shots, like, even on his strong foot, it would be what you say, it'd be less than 5 out of 10 that he'd probably hit on his left foot.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's taking shots like that on his right foot. And then I don't think getting put, even though I know he was just filling a position, I don't think getting put back in the left back really helped him out much. So,
absolutely. And Stuart's come in with probably the worst memory to take from Paddy McNair's time at Manchester United. Here's one for you. Paddy's a Liverpool fan. Well, that's is that really your favourite memory of him at his time at Man United? That he actually scored at Liverpool? But James, I'll go to you now. Fred's overall performance today, what rate would you give?
7. I don't think you can harshly rate him, but I don't think he massively contributed to the win. So obviously he didn't have much to do breaking up the play. So he's sort of limited in what he can do going forward, and we saw that it's solid performance. I can't argue with a 7.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, I'm going to be asking a question after we cover our thoughts on Bruno. I'll be asking the question. The first 9 people answer it correctly will be put into a draw to win some Football Town merchandise. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, get this video out to everyone's eyes as much as possible. But stay on now. In the next 5 minutes, I'll be asking that question. So Bruno, I felt he started a bit slow, but kind of grew into the game a bit more. He got a goal, which he needed. He got 2 assists, for James and for Martial. But how do you think of his overall game, Temi?
Um, I'll give him a 7. I don't think he had I think in the first half, like you said, he started off really slow. I don't think he was that impactful. Obviously, he got a penalty, but he played well. So I'm going to give him a 7. Not, not. I'm not going to overreact and give him an 8 or a 9 because of a penalty. But yeah, I'll give him a 7.
How about for yourself?
Yeah, I'll go for a 7 too, but I'll give a little bit different. Well, not a different reason, just like a Bruno reason. It's one of those games where he didn't have his best game, but he got a goal because of the penalty, and he had some moments where he was able to pick out some passes for those assists. Well, the James one was just a fucking header, but but yeah, right. He had a Bruno game. Oh, he had a poor Bruno game. He didn't play great, but he still contributed in a few spurt of the moments and helped us get some goals.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair enough. James, for yourself?
Yeah, like the other two said, he didn't have his best game and he still contributed to 3 goals. I think that's just what he does. He wasn't involved in everything, but his goals and assists speak for themselves. So I'd go like 8 or 9, either of those.
8 or 9, 8 or 9. So 8.5 we'll go with. I'm very close. I'm going to put the question off for one more thing because the next person might have a bit more of a talking point, and then I'll throw it in for the last little bit. But after we speak about Marcus Rashford, I'm going to be asking a question. This is guaranteed now. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share this around. And the first 9 people answer this question correctly will be put into a draw to win Football Town merchandise, and it'll be definitely worthwhile. So please stick around and wait for that, and subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. So Rashford came into this game. We wanted a big performance out of him. It would have been, in some ways, it would have been great to see him play the full 90 minutes and hopefully get a couple of goals. But he was, for me, well, it'll come to me afterwards. But tell me for yourself, his overall game, I think he did.
Another 7. I obviously took the goal really well. I think he was lively. I think he was bright. I think it was just it's wild to say, but I think our attacking impetus came from our fullbacks today, not really our wingers. Obviously, our forwards, did well to finish the chances. But again, I'm not going to overreact. I think he had a good game, not a really, really good game. So I'll give him a 7.
7, cool. Hammer for yourself?
Yeah, I'll agree with Temi on that. I think the goal is something that he needed, right? He needed to get back on, and he's another player who's the confidence of getting the goal, and the game overall was going to help. But also, I was just thinking, shit, I can't fucking remember his goal.
Was it a tap? I think it was the tap. Wasn't like a tap in or.
I can't remember his goal at all. I genuinely can't remember his goal at all.
Greenwood squared it to him, didn't he? He was on the penalty spot.
Yeah,
McCarthy when he saved it.
Okay, that's just short. Okay.
So what you give him, Hammer, out of 10?
7.
7. James, for yourself, what would you give him?
Yeah, same again, 7.
Cool, great insights. Wow. I believe we should be all speechless after James' insights. You are looking to do this professionally, aren't you? Stuart has come up with another one on the Paddy McNair a little bit. He did score a winner for Northern Ireland in a World Cup qualifier, legend already. Again, not things that really affect Manchester United positively, but I'm glad you got that, Stuart. You deserve it. And if anyone wants to say who their favourite Northern Irish player is that played for United, Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans. What is your favourite Johnny Evans moment? And you know what will be the first one that comes up when he got sent off against City and we lost 6-1. I'm going to say it out loud so no one does it for him. But guys, like I promised, we're going into the last 2 players that started tonight. We're going to go on for another couple of minutes. But I have the question here for tonight, okay? We're gone past, I don't know how many likes we're on YouTube. Fantastic people tuning in and watching. The question is, I'm after going the wrong way around saying this. Basically, to be in a chance to win the Football Town merchandise, the first 9 people to answer this question correctly, we put into a draw for a chance of winning it. The question is, the previous game that we won 9-0 against, okay? This is a 2-part question. You have to get both right. Who was it against, and who was the top goal scorer on that day? So the last time we won 9-0 was in the Premier League. Who did we score? Who did we win against? And who was the top goal scorer, obviously, for Manchester United on that day? You have to answer the 2 questions in the 1 comment. to be put into the draw. So make sure to go for that while we continue with this. Kenny, we'll go to the opposite side. Greenwood, a lot of people a little bit disappointed that Greenwood didn't get on the score sheet, but how do you think of his overall play?
I think he did fine. I think he did fine. I think that, again, people kind of goals are very important. Obviously, you want your strikers to score goals, but again, a football match is 90 minutes long. So I think in that 90 minutes, I think he passed the ball really well. I think he retained it really well. I think there was a move on the wing that I saw where, he was taking on a player, dribbling past him like it was nothing. I love to see that. I love that confidence. So I'm going to give him a 7-2, even though, he didn't get the goal. I think he was involved enough in the game. And I think that, I think he used the ball well in this game. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair enough. Hammer, for yourself?
I was gonna go 6 or 7. I was probably leaning more towards 6. But I do get what Tammy was saying, right? He didn't get the goal, and I think I tweeted out I wanted a Donny and a Mason goal, and I would have been happy. We didn't get either one, but that's all right. But I think Mason, he was playing well in terms of his dribbling, and he was getting some shots off. So I think he's starting to get back some confidence, and sooner or later they're going to start going to the back of the net.
Absolutely. James, for yourself?
Yeah, I'll go 7. I thought he could have offered a bit more, but he still played well. And you win 9-0, you can't really give anyone underneath a 7, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair. Then to finish off with our starting lineup, El Matador, Edison Cavani. Temi, how much do you love him?
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's a really, really good player, and I think that he's gotten a lot of criticism over the past week for those chances he missed. I thought it was hilarious when he posted on Twitter all his misses. Like that made me laugh so hard. I thought that was one of the funniest things I've seen in a really long time. But hey, had a decent game when he played in the first half, so I'm gonna give him a 7.
Yep, that's fair. Hammer, for yourself?
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 or 8. I think he did a lot of movement. I like the header that he scored. And I like the flick. Like I think he had that one flick early on that almost put Marshall. Oh, wow. I think I just tried to combine Marcus and Martial. That almost put Marcus in on goal. And then there was another one that I don't think any people didn't really notice. He had like a one touch.
Yeah.
With like the outside of his foot that like switched field. And I was like, damn, that was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, give him a 7 or 8 just because he had the goal and he played well when he was on there. So,
yeah, absolutely. James, for yourself?
I think I'll give him an 8 purely because he only played 45 minutes. I thought if he'd have stayed on, I think we could have hit double figures with his ability up front. So I think he was just a victim of the fact that he was a half-time substitution, really.
Yeah, my fantasy football would have been very happy with that. Before we move on from the player ratings, I'm going to just focus in on one man. Our boy Temi, how happy were you with Martial this evening?
I was pleased. I was really happy he got his goals. Like, I just think he's been going through so much over the past couple of weeks. I think I've seen so many people in the fan base. I saw somebody say that Marcus and Tony can't play together. Just I've just seen so much bullshit. I'm sorry, just so much foolishness. I was just happy that, obviously, like I said, it's hard to judge too much when there's 10 men on the pitch and then 9 men on the pitch. But I'm proud he won a penalty and he took his goals well. I wish he would have got his hat trick with that dink that he should have scored. But I'm pleased. My guy gets on the score sheet. Hopefully this gives him some confidence leading up to the home stretch of this campaign.
Yeah. And if you wonder who Temi's talking about, it was Wall of Reds. It was Sunday evening when people were and I was just thinking, I was raging that you weren't there because there was no one fighting Martial's corner. It was just a case of Rashford forever, Martial never. And I was like, wherever Temi is, there's a fist-shaped hole in his wall right now.
Yeah, that made me chuckle for sure.
Shall we get you on this Sunday and you can take down Noah? I didn't mention him, but we'll have a proper conversation about this.
I've never been invited to Wall of Reds. I don't know, Joe.
Neither have I. I just keep showing up.
I'm always at work, so fuck that.
Oh, well, look at you with a job. James is like, I don't like them. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's going to be that way forever. Okay. We're just going to say for another 5 or 10 minutes or so, guys. We're going to talk about a few more of the talking points. But wherever you are, thank you for wonderful people joining us. People that have never been in the comments before. Thank you so much. Please like the video. Please keep everyone coming in. And I think everyone got it right. Well, like 9 people at least got it right. Did you guys know what the answer was when I said that? Without looking at the comments, I can see James laughing.
So I knew it was Ipswich 9-0, but I didn't remember who the top goal scorer was.
Andy Cawley, he got 5.
Yeah.
And remember when I asked for our favorite Johnny Evans memory, and we got inundated with comments there? No, because we only got one. It was best Johnny Evans memory. I met him in KFC a week before the 2009 championship. That's a good memory. Was he a nice guy?
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Stuart,
that
was
is
he a nice guy? Did you talk to him and all like that? And I felt we should have sold him. I think we could have used him for a couple more seasons, especially for $2 million, selling them to who was West Brom, wasn't it? Wasn't it West Brom and then something like that? Yeah. But we'll touch on what are our thoughts on VAR and its entire inclusion on this game. I'm gonna focus in on y'all on this one, and I'm gonna go to James first because I haven't heard from him. He's having a great time there in the corner. How did you feel VAR's impact was in this game?
This game, it didn't have any impact really, did it? I mean, it stripped Bruno of a penalty that wasn't a penalty, but if there was no VAR, we would have got one. But yeah, I think the red cards were red cards. I think it's had a weird effect on the season and football in general since it's come in. I think it's still a lot of fine tuning to be done. It's still very poorly worked and enforced, but. Yeah, I can't have any complaints with its use in this game because, by the time it actually got into use, the game was well over, wasn't it? It's not like it stopped Southampton winning in any sense. So I don't really have that much to say on it, really. I know you wanted some big insight, but apologies.
But James, if we want the big insights, we wouldn't have brought you. You're here to bring in the age bracket of 13 to 21. That's our big we just mute you half the time, and then you talk, and then all the kids are like, "Yay!" If he can do it, I can do it.
Yo, you got it, show Joe.
How about for yourself, buddy? On the VAR, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think I forgot who tweeted it. Shit, it might have been Temmy. Sorry if I'm going to take what you're going to say, Temmy, but it's the people who are looking at it, right? There's still going to be human error just because it's VAR. They're going to take it as their different interpretations, right? Like the one for them that was it offsides or some, I don't know, but the dude, when they were showing it on the TV, he was going by I think Maguire's fingertips, and I was like, we're getting this fine on it? And I know that's what it's been for a lot of the issues with VAR, but I think that's the issue. Both somebody manning it and then they're taking it to centimeters, and it's getting a little much on that end.
Yeah. Just touching back to Johnny Evans, the love-in that's happening here. And by love-in, I mean just weird things we're finding out about him. I love John Gray. I know for a fact Johnny Evans is vegan. I don't know how that is a fact. How you're really you're at the hill you're going to die on knowing that he's a vegan. And then, of course, because it's a Northern Irish player, it's Johnny's best moment was getting sent off last game of last season against United, the penalty to get some Champions League football. What is it with just this stuff happening to Northern Irish players that happen after they leave that they do nice things for us? And then Stuart O'Hara, really lovely guy. Wish him all the best. Wish him good luck, even though I knew deep down he'd get nowhere near the starting level. But at least you were a nice guy to him. And James, if you want to make an official and play it against Joe, I'm all ears. Got to look after our day oneers. Bring it on, James. I own HO. But yeah, sorry, Tammy, your thoughts on VAR, and then we'll get to the closing points.
Yeah. So I have a lot of thoughts about VAR. I was thinking about this as we were cruising, in this game. I was a huge fan of, bringing VAR into the league. I thought, especially the campaign before in the Champions League when we essentially got through to the next round to face Barcelona, Ollie's interim season because of a VAR decision. I was super ecstatic to see that in the league, but there's obviously tons of problems. I don't understand why we need people checking in another area. Like, if there's any decisions that should be made, the ref should look at the monitor every single time, and that should be it. So there's only one person making decisions. In American sports, specifically the NFL and the NBA, coaches have the ability to challenge calls. I think they should look into that as well.
No.
But yeah, no, I just think that VAR in itself is extremely broken, and I think they should do what they can to fix it, or scrap it, period.
See, the problem is, what's his name? Mark Lattenberg was asked about his thoughts on VAR. And so the problem is, it's in now and it has to stay, because for the whatever word I'm trying to say of time, people are going to say, "Oh, bring back VAR because that decision didn't happen." It should have just never been brought in the first place. It's an absolute joke. So to get into kind of the closing points, first of all, we just want to discuss Ollie today. I know it was kind of somewhat played into his hands, but for me, I was really happy that he did. I know he took off Cavani and Luke Shaw, and then Rashford shortly afterwards. But like the fact that he kept on attacking and kept on saying, "I want goals. I want this to be 9-0," because there was loads of times, in previous managers where we could have been, even under Sir Alex the whole time, we'd have whitewashed him in the first half, and then it'd just be calm and just play slowly and all like that, and then maybe get one or two more, maybe. But he was like, "No, I want goals. I want all of my strikers, all my front would have been front five, because we had James Conn, Green, and Martial came on, including the front three. We wanted Manny's end to get a goal as possible." So, is there anything you can say about that, or do you feel like it was just a good day at the office for Ollie? Is there anything you can take away from it? I'll go to James first.
I think that the mentality that he had today was good, in the fact that he didn't just shut up shop. Seemed like he would at half time when not much was really happening. That sort of spell before 70 minutes where it was just all a bit bland. It looked like we just settled for the win, but no, I'm glad that we went for as many goals as we did, because when it comes down to the end of the season, we've got a bad history with being on the wrong side of goal difference. So I think that'll also be important, possibly. But yeah, it was nice to see. It was refreshing. It's not like Mourinho where he'd go 1-0 up and then he'd put every man behind the ball. So we would choose some goals, weren't we? I think he knew that as well. So yeah, I'm happy about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just checking there, we have the same goal difference as Liverpool, which is good. And 7 more than Leicester, loads more than West Ham. Just this there on the table, and we're 5 behind City. But we'll just get another player sent off for Everton the first seconds on Saturday. That will make up that. Ham, I'll go to you. How did you feel Ollie's decision making was today?
No, yeah. I mean, I kind of like the comment that James made about the mentality. I think it's a mentality that Manchester United is supposed to have, right? I don't think I ever said it on here. I think I might have commented a couple times. So I like sports overall, and I know I'm gonna for a short second bring in another sport. I know it's a football channel.
Boo!
Would you relax? You'll like the comparison. I look at Manchester United as the Yankees, right? Everything from history, success, way of playing, known around the world, everything. It means winning, playing offensive games in terms of putting them high scores and going all out for winning trophies, spending the money. And I know that's the part that we haven't been on the last few years. But it was a mentality that I'd like to see, hopefully. And I know it was because they went down to 10 men, and obviously we're not going to score those type of goals all the time. But I want to see a mentality from the team get built off of this, no matter what type of team we're playing, right? You go into the games against the teams that you're supposed to take care of as a big club and take care of the points. And then when you go in against the other title competing teams, you scrap and you fight to get to either get the 3 points or to get what you can get out against that type of team. So I'm hoping that they do that and they build off the mentality that they had in the game and go against other teams like Everton this weekend and go right off balls to the wall, because that's what Manchester United is supposed to be.
Absolutely. And I think that, I'm sorry to bring a bit of a downer on this video, but I think James has gone from being the cute one to being the bad boy of this group, because What is this? I was in McDonald's, spelled wrong, the other day, and James Bridge kicked the Happy Meal out of my son's hand. And do you want to know why we know it's true? Because John Gray, who knows for a fact Johnny Evans is vegan, said, it's true, I'm the son. James, can we get an official apology right now, if that's okay? I'm going to put you on full screen.
No. I enjoyed watching Bednarek and Eddie cry, and I enjoyed kicking that Happy Meal, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, next question.
Oh, he is fully the bad boy. You can tell he fights with Cobra Kai.
I love
it. Cool, we'll finish up with this now. If anyone has any closing points or anything they want to make before we finish up. Super duper. So thanks so much, guys, for joining us on this momentous occasion where Manchester United joint their all-time record win ever. If you want to make sure wherever you're watching, subscribe to the channel, like this video, follow all the guys here on their social medias. We'll be back tomorrow. Temi is previewing the Everton game tomorrow evening, so make sure to join in for that from 9 o'clock. We have Women's Weekly. What day is it? Thursday, so make sure to join for that. We'll be back on Saturday for what time is the kickoff on Saturday?
Well, 3 p.m. for me. So that means what?
Are we really that late?
Yeah, if it's 3 p.m. for you guys.
Yeah.
Let me make sure, because it is 8 p.m. on Saturday, so I guess we'll be going from about 10 to 6 or something like that on this channel for a preview and then post-match reaction. So make sure to be there. John Gray and the lads are having a great time there. James, you've really made some wonderful enemies. But yeah, like I said, thanks so much for joining us. Like this video, share it around. We'll be back on Saturday, like I said, but all the way through the week, and keep up to date with us by subscribing to this channel on YouTube, Off United, liking, following on Twitter and on Instagram, and also follow all of us. But that's us for tonight. A night where we nined in Southampton. I was going to say a night we dined in hell. I was trying to fill something in, but it didn't really work.
Joe.
I tried my best. Thanks so
you
much,
were
guys.
almost there.
Almost, but so far. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you all soon. You bunch of legends.